The Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3 XL were really smart smartphones and had cameras that could put any other smartphone camera to shame. That said, the one thing a lot of people agreed on was the fact that the Pixel 3 and the XL were priced a little higher. Well, Google is clearly listening to you. This is the Pixel 3a XL. It's a more budget version of the Pixel 3 XL, but doesn't lose out on the important stuff. And in this video, I'm going to give you a full review of the Pixel 3a XL and maybe let you know if it's worth your money. So hey, this is Sri Hari from Mr. Phone and let's jump right in. But before we jump in, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon right next to it so that you get notified for the videos that we put out. The Pixel 3a XL is a true Google phone and I think it's not very different in looks when compared to the Pixel 3 XL. Google has never been flashy when it comes to design, and with this white coat, the Pixel 3 XL is the most premium look attempt from Google. It's not actually that premium compared to the 3 XL, which uses smooth glass at the back. The 3A uses polycarbonate, also known as plastic. The move from glass to plastic also comes with loss of wireless charging, which is completely disconnected with the previous change. For the people who are unaware, inductive wireless charging can work through both glass and plastic, and even metal if you have a thinner metal in that area. Of course, the metal also takes up a lot of that energy through heat, which is why we don't use metal phones with wireless charging. That said, with plastic, they could have put wireless charging, but that is the first compromise that we see with the design. Apart from that, the buttons are okay-ish. This is one place where it doesn't fall behind the Pixel 3 XL because Pixels have shitty buttons. This one has an orange colored button that I prefer over the mint green one on the Pixel 3 XL. The buttons do have some difference where the Pixel 3 XL's rocker is slightly less on the travel. The 3a XL has too much travel and is just slightly sharper around the edges. It is a small difference, but it happens with the power button as well. And you notice because of the famous camera shortcut where you press the power button twice, that becomes a little difficult on the Pixel 3a XL compared to the 3 XL where it's quick and smooth. With this one, you do get a headphone jack that the Pixel 3 XL lacks. The output is pretty good as well. You do get some in-ear style earphones in the box, which is good. Quality of the earphones themselves isn't very exciting, but well, they are there in the box. But the stereo setup that you get with the bottom firing speakers and the earpiece is something that you don't find in phones at this price. And while other phones might have slightly louder speakers, you get a holistic experience with this one. And I think when it comes to speaker performance in its price range, this one is very hard to beat. There is no face unlock on this, but the fingerprint scanner is pretty awesome. It's among the best fingerprint scanners that I've used and is also placed very comfortably. This one doesn't have IP68 rating that the 3 XL has. That said, very few phones at this price do have that rating, so I don't think I'm worried about that. Now we move on to the display, and the 3a XL comes with a 1080p plus display at 18:9 aspect ratio. The display could have been a higher resolution at this price, but then again, most brands selling at this price have Full HD displays, so I'm not going to complain here. It also doesn't have a notch, which means no edge-to-edge display. While this might be a deal breaker for a lot of people, but for me, this is just the look that I want. So there are two things that I can handle. One of them are the full view displays that you get, for example, with the phones like Vivo Nex or the OnePlus 7 Pro, where you have a full view display. There's no obstruction, there's no notch, there's no kind of asymmetrical things happening. The chins are the only things that these phones have that are slightly unsymmetrical, but apart from that, all of it looks quite smooth. If not that, then this. Please don't give me phones that have notches, that have ears coming out of the display. I don't like that kind of stuff, and that is why the Pixel 3a XL is a phone that I love a lot. Now, moving past that, the display is quite good. It gets bright enough for everyday usage. In direct sunlight, it doesn't look as convincing, but neither do most displays at this price. It doesn't come with HDR support that the more expensive Pixel 3 XL comes with. It does have an almost color accurate panel, and you can choose between different color modes as well depending on your preference. It does come with Widevine L1 certification, which means that you can watch high definition content on online streaming platforms including Netflix. Also, another thing that this lacks compared to other phones in this price range also, and compared to the Pixel 3 XL, is a Gorilla Glass 5 protection on the display. That is something that the Pixel 3 XL has and this one doesn't. I've been using this phone without a screen protector. It has been in my bag, in my pocket, in and out of my bag also, and there are no major scratches on this. So I don't think there is a big difference. That said, if you are someone who nitpicks and really wants that Gorilla Glass branding, then this one is not for you. Now, going to performance, the processor inside the Pixel 3a XL is one of the most talked about things in its reviews, and it's certainly a major point of contention. The 3a XL, priced at 45,000 in India, has seriously low spec processor. To give you an idea, the Snapdragon 675, which is a more powerful version of the 670, sits inside a Redmi Note 7 Pro that starts at 13,999 in India, almost 3 times less than what the Pixel 3a XL costs. Even with a 26,000 rupees Vivo V15 Pro, people thought that the 675 with the Vivo V15 Pro was an overpriced deal here in India. That said, in the US, I think at the $400 price, at the $400 to $500 price, the Pixel 3a XL 670 is quite a good deal. Now, I'm going to talk about the Pixel 3a XL from an everyday user perspective, because I think that is how the target audience for this phone is going to use this one. And I don't know if that surprises you, but I am one of them. I don't play games at all. Even if I'm bored, I would be watching some content online or listening to music. Games is the last thing I go to do pass time, and this is why I have loved using this phone. The day-to-day performance is simply awesome. It's smooth and fluid and flowy and feels premium on the software side. Phones like OnePlus are much snappier, sure, but there's a special feeling when it comes to using a phone that glides through everyday tasks. Looking at benchmark scores, this thing falls behind seriously. Comparing to the Snapdragon 855, the 845, and even the 835, the 670 falls behind. Although CPU performance is slightly better on the Snapdragon 675, which is very popular here in India, the graphics performance on the 670 is slightly better, which is also why I actually did not have a bad gaming experience. The Pixel 3a XL defaults on high for PUBG, and I had a smooth gaming experience. I did not experience any dropped frames. Of course, after playing it for longer hours, I would get a few dropped frames here and there. That said, while testing it with Gamebench on PUBG, I actually got 30 FPS constantly. Also, when I switched the graphics settings to Ultra and Smooth FPS, I got a 39 FPS, which was more than I expected for the Snapdragon 670. And surely I believe this is not a phone for gamers. If you do want to play games on this one, this is not going to disappoint you without any doubt. The haptic feedback is something that has enhanced the experience on the Pixel 3a XL and is probably the reason why I love this phone a lot. With the Pixel 3 and the 3 XL, a lot of people were talking about the haptic feedback and everyone was very impressed with it. I'm happy to tell you that the 3 XL has these same haptic feedback motors, and it just enhances the whole experience and you feel like you have a premium phone in your hand. Coming to software, I think this is easily the strongest value point of Pixel phones, and the story is no different here. The stock Android experience is something to die for. Even after using the most magical looking Android skins, it surprisingly still is the most refreshing one. And please don't even dare to mistake the stock Android from Android One phones to be the one that runs on this one. The Pixel experience is much more enhanced and premium. Don't ask me how, but it is. The always-on display, the auto-detect for music, the clean setting space, the Google feed on the left, it is all so good and minimal. I think that is how I would describe the experience on the Pixel 3a XL. It's minimal and clean. Of course, it's not for everyone. I've had people return stock Android phones because the software experience was, quote, very boring, unquote. If that's you, then this is not the one. For me, I think it is the perfect Android experience and lets me get my job done without zero hassles. There are a few things though. You get guaranteed software updates for 3 years, which you also get with the Pixel 3 and the 3 XL, but you do not get unlimited storage for original quality photos, which has been a staple with Pixel phones. Out of all the things Google compromised in the Pixel 3a XL, this one hurts the most, and I think Google could have avoided this one. This also comes with the squeeze to call on Google Assistant, and I think for someone like me who uses Google Assistant on a daily basis, this was a boon. It works like magic. You just squeeze the phone, you can change and alter the pressure that you put on the phone to get activated. But I think this is a magical thing, and the fact that they did not exclude it with the Pixel 3a XL is just amazing. The Pixel 3a XL has the same rear camera as the Pixel 3 XL, effectively making it the best camera performer under 50,000. There might be other phones with higher DxOMark scores, but the Pixel 3 XL is still considered as the best camera performer, and hence the Pixel 3a XL has no competition in that area. The 12.2 megapixel sensor takes some breathtaking images and was my favorite thing on this phone. Why wouldn't it be? It's such a beautiful camera experience. We've done a comparison of the 3a XL with the 3 XL, and you can find that linked in the description below and in a card up here. And in the rear camera images, there is rarely any difference. When it comes to the front camera though, first of all, there's only one camera on the 3A compared to a dual front array people love so much on the 3 and the 3 XL. There is also slight quality difference when it comes to details in the selfies, and it's only noticeable when you compare them side by side and zoom in, but it is there. That said, the big difference is that you do not get the wide angle. The processing of images takes slightly more time on the Pixel 3a XL. This might be a big deal for people who've used a Pixel 3 or a 3 XL in the past, but I think it's a very minor issue and never posed any big problems for me. The Pixel 3a XL's biggest advantage over any other Pixel is the battery life. The 3a XL comes with a bigger 3700 mAh battery compared to a 3400 one on the Pixel 3 XL. What that means is that with a lower resolution display and a more power efficient chip, the battery life has to be even longer, right? Well, it is. I averaged about 6 hours screen on time on the Pixel 3a XL, which is unimaginable on the 3 XL. The 18-watt charger that comes inside the box also makes sure that you are not plugged into the wall for long. The Pixel 3a XL is a great smartphone and is my favorite Android phone of the year. There, I said it. I think the minimal design, the display that doesn't have a notch and gives me an unobtrusive experience, Pixel Android experience that has been implemented in the most intuitive way possible, cameras that I don't have to worry about because I know it'll take a good picture just with one hit at the shutter button, and a battery life to boast about. I think while there are compromises on the Pixel 3a XL compared to the Pixel 3 XL, only a few of them feel important to me, and I think I can live with them. The Pixel 3a XL is a phone that I love, but I don't think this is a one that I would recommend easily to someone here in India at least. I think with phones coming out with Snapdragon 845, 855 now that are under the price of the Pixel 3a XL, it is very difficult to recommend this one over them, at least here in India, which is a very chipset focused market. That said, in the US, I think the Pixel 3a XL under $500 is a steal. Here in India, I still think there is an audience for the Pixel 3a XL, and I think you know who you are after watching this review. That said, I think in India, if the price drops at least 5,000 rupees, if you get this one at 40,000 and maybe the Pixel 3a at 35,000, I think it's great pricing. And with offers that e-commerce websites provide very frequently, you can get this one at a very good deal. And I think my favorite phone of the year could be yours as well. And with that, I leave you to it. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comment section if you have any questions about this one. That's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. This is Sri Hari from Mr. Phone, and I'll catch you in the next one.